And I believe that you and we are on a happiness quest. We are trying to figure out what it is that will make us happy. Because nobody wants to be sad, everybody wants to be happy. And so you are told over and over and over that if you want to be happy, you've got to do what makes you happy. You've got to find your voice. You're someone that has to be your authentic self, right? And so if you were to summarize what the world and life is teaching you about happiness, it's that it's all about you. If you want to be happy, you're going to have to figure out what makes yourself happy. Bottom line of that is, if you do it long enough, man, you end up becoming a little selfish, right? I mean, we know what a happy moment is, yet nobody can seem to figure out how to find a happy life. Tons of happy moments. It's not wrong to pursue those happy moments. But what does it take to have a happy life? How do you figure out how to find happiness? It might surprise you that Jesus had some things to say about true happiness in the Bible. And today I want to invite you on a journey with me to look at those words. So we're going to be in Matthew chapter 5 in your Bible. In this series, The Greatest of All Time, last week we said that Jesus secured the greatest victory of all time, the greatest win of all time. He predicted his death and resurrection and he pulled it off, right? Greatest win of all time. Today we're going to look at the greatest sermon of all time, and we're going to look at the greatest introduction to the greatest sermon of all time. So what makes this the greatest sermon of all time? It's because when you look at it through its whole scope, you see Jesus displays his authority in it as a teacher. He displays his obedience to the will of his Father, and he shows the world how to love each other. Right? And so I'm going to warn you, in this sermon, the teachings are often upside down from what the world would imagine, right? And if you lean in long enough and if you stay here a while, it's going to be different from what you see around the world. But it could change your life. And so I want to read for you from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, starting in verse 1. The words are going to be here on the screen. They're also printed on this card that's found in your seat. You might want to grab that today, okay? The words are right there so you can have it. Starting in verse 1. Now when Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him and he began to teach them. He said this, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, they'll be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who went before you." 8 traits Jesus gives us if we want to be truly happy. This is going to lead to happiness. And these traits are often called the Beatitudes. And the word beatitude in the Latin is where we get our word happy from. And Jesus goes right to the core of it and says, listen, it's not selfish that's going to lead you to a happy place in life. It's being selfless that is going to make you happy. It's not being all about yourself, finding your voice and doing what is good for you that's going to bring you true happiness. It's emptying yourself and aligning yourself with me, being selfless and having me as your leader rather than you. That's going to make you happy.